Every one of my records means something. The label, the producer, the year it was made.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Bad luck streak and dance in school, down on my knees in pain. Bad luck streak and dance in school.
Welcome to the Record Night Podcast. I'm Collin.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joe.
Here we are. Nice job.
We're getting the hang of it now. We're getting it down now, boys.
It's my turn to pick the record, and it's been a long time since I actually had to pick a record. The last time I did a record was Cosmic Country, but I knew well in advance that I was going to do that. So, all week I really didn't have any kind of... I didn't feel strongly about anything. I was just like, I don't know. I could do this or I could do that. But I finally settled on one. I kind of forgot about it. And I don't know if you guys have any records like this, but I'm not... I want to wait to reveal it, but it's one of my favorite records of all time, but it's kind of obscure. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the artist in general, but it doesn't matter. You can kind of take this record and it just stands on its own. I kind of think like the Wild Feather. I'm a huge fan of the Wild Feathers. I like all their music. But that being said, you could just take their first record and just walk away, and that's
It's
it.
like a quintessential type record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think you could take like a bunch of good like classic rock records from the 70s. You could take a good Tom Petty record, maybe an Eagles record, and put the Wild Feathers record in there, and it would stand up.
Like in a playlist. Yeah.
I think.
Sure.
And so this is kind of along those lines, but there's But the backstory to the record that I'm picking is I found a cool connection. So recently I became aware of this guitar player by the name of Jeremy Fetzer. And so when I was going to do the Cosmic Country record, there's a couple of playlists on Spotify. Daniel Donato has a Cosmic Country playlist, which is like stuff that influenced him. But then Spotify has a Cosmic Country playlist. And it's kind of, they have a looser definition of Cosmic Country. It's just kind of a bunch of alt new country stuff, and there's a song on it that I heard. It came on in the car, and I was gonna change. I remember I was gonna change it because I didn't know what the hell it was, and so when I'm in the car, I prefer like sing along kind of stuff for the most part. I would say, but it came on and it played for a few minutes. I was like, this is pretty good. So I just let it play. So I'm gonna play it right now. It's Jeremy Fetzer. The song's called Mendocino, or Mendocino perhaps, featuring Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Dwayne Eddy. So the song actually, he just released this single, and then I looked it up after, and they actually they're selling it on like a little 45.
Oh, okay.
So I just bought. I don't know what the B-side, if there is a B-side, but I bought that little record like right after I heard the song. And so here it is. It's just an instrumental. He's just an instrumental guitar player. But so this song is Mendocino. But so I discovered this song. This was recent, and so I'm a huge fan. Like I said, I bought the little 45. So anyway, I'm trying to decide on a record this week, and I kind of forgot about this record. In fact, the record I'm going to do. Well, let me just introduce it. So it's Andrew Combs. What is it called? Worried Man. This song this is his debut record. This was from the year 2012, They originally didn't press it on vinyl. So this, honest to God, this was one of my candidates for Not a Record Night. But then very recently, I discovered that they just remastered it and pressed it onto vinyl.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I was looking through the collection the other day, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, this is one of my favorite records. So I'd love to do it. And I never realized.
It's got a cool sleeve.
I open it up and I look. And the lead guitar player in the band is Jeremy Fetzer. So it was me. It's like, well, okay, maybe that's why it's one
the
of my
stars
favorite records
align.
of all time.
Yeah, the stars align for that one.
Because yeah. So Andrew Combs has kind of changed bands. He's still, like I said, I'm not too into his stuff now, but like, he still makes good music. I just never really, got into it. But I was actually introduced to this record back when I worked for the Indians in 2016. There was a guy who worked there. It was named, he had a funny name. What's the guy from? Either you watched the show 24?
Yeah.
Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
His name, the guy's name was either Jack Bauer or Jack Bowers. I don't remember, but he was like a cool music head guy, and he's like, "Oh, you might like this guy Andrew Combs." So I checked it out, and I think you guys are really gonna like it. I try to like have a kind of when I'm picking a record, I'm trying to either build off of the record I just did or the record that like the last person did. I think this is a decent continuation. It certainly is off of like Cosmic Country. There's some country elements in this, but off of Stevie Ray Vaughan, because some of the songs in here are just like really classic kind of rock style songs. So I think this is right up our alley. But I love it. It's a heart. If you want to know the subject material, it's heartbreak. It's heartbreak all the way through. But he does a good job of like approaching it from all the different aspects of it. Like you're still in the relationship, but the writing's on the wall. The desperate don't leave me, the anger after, and then like reflection and growth, I guess, is ideally kind of how it should go. And I think he kind of covers all aspects. And another thing about it is I think, well, we'll see what you guys think as we listen to it, but I think that he wrote this, it seems to me that he kind of wrote side A and then side B, which I like. That's kind of like an old school kind of thing, I think. So, have either one of you ever heard of Andrew Combs?
I have not. This is new to me.
I don't think so. I mean, I've seen that record before in your collection, but I can't say I know who he is. Is he a part of any other bands or anything, or
No.
he's just a solo guy?
Yeah, he's always kind of done his own thing. He came out with a... let me put it on just for a minute while I put it up on the turntable. He came out with a song a couple years ago, like when the Trump era was like new, and it was just, like 2016, 2017, like it was just happening. And he came out with a record right around then, and had a song. It's called... it's not one of his top songs. I would have thought it would have been one of his top tunes. But, the Bourgeois King. It's actually a really good song. But he has like a line of, make this country great again. So it's like, that's what... But this is a little bit more like... This album is a lot more like classic, I would say.
Let's see the vinyl itself.
Oh yeah.
Translucent?
Nice.
Oh, cool.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Very simple. It's A, B.
I don't know. I like white vinyl because I think it's because of it's the opposite of the normal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what? It gives you that old school vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of like everything, almost like
Like,
like an old white stove or something.
Or
you know what I mean?
like whitewash like wheels.
Yeah,
like on like an old Cadillac, like the white
everything's like just reminds you of like porcelain and steel. Everything.
porcelain. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That one of the Fleetwood Mac records that I have is on white vinyl.
I think you showed it to us when you were going through.
And it's
your
got
records.
a yellow sticker, so it looks like an egg, like a sunny side up egg.
I'm gonna run through the track listing real quick because I think that'll give a little bit of indication as to what we can expect. This is Loose Music. Loose Music released this. I think that might be the repress because again, this originally was not on vinyl. So track 1 is Devil's Got My Woman. Track 2, Please, Please, Please. Then Heavy.
Beatles cover?
No. Heavy is a cover. That I can.
Oh, a Beatles song.
To those individuals later, but
heavy.
Big Bad Love, and then Come Tomorrow, and then side 2 starts with Take It From Me, Running You Out of My Mind, Too Stoned to Cry. It's a great song. YLY, Worried Man, and Lonely Side of Love.
Worried Man.
That's the title track.
Okay.
Devil's got my back. Don't you come around with the devil on your breath. Don't you know I hate to see you like that, man. You got something to say, get it off your chest. Ain't no use carrying all that around. It's only gonna make you happy, girl. Maybe I'll see you, maybe I won't.
Interesting way to end that song. I
it.
like that.
I like no chorus. Not another chorus on the end.
Yeah, it ends with a little bit of uncertainty.
Running so crazy, running so wild, trying to run around my mind. Feels like getting off some mean old drug, coming down off the big bad love. I don't know where I'll be come tomorrow. Or tonight where I'll rest my weary head. Oh, but somewhere down the line I'll find some peace of mind. Settle down and start my life again. Settle down and start it all again.
All right, side A of Andrew
yeah.
Combs' "Worried Man." Nice little,
Yeah.
you know.
Kind of peaked right at the end. It was a real quick peak and valley there.
Yeah, yeah. I tend to like that. I think that's a good
The contrast.
bob and weave kind of strategy. Yeah.
But I don't think it was like the millennia forces of peaks
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't.
for sure.
It was kind of like a kiddie ride. It was almost. It was very. I mean, there were peaks and valleys, but I don't think it was too extreme from one song to the next.
Yeah.
I think it all kind of blended in well.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a good thing too. You don't want it to be like abrasive, you know, like the
Yeah,
changes
if
or
anything,
whatever.
I'd say that Big Bad Love kind of, it kind of just stood out a little more.
Yeah, a little bit, but
I really like that last song though. That was really good.
Yeah, so I don't think this is quite. So I think he's a really good songwriter. If you could, the Genius lyrics are littered with incorrect lyrics and discrepancies and stuff. But I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah,
alien heads for apostrophe signs.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So Joe, you were asking while the record was playing, like, does he write the songs? And so we have all songs written by Andrew Combs, except "Heavy," which was the third track. That was written by Carl Anderson and Carolyn Spence, which I mentioned, and "Come Tomorrow" by Andrew Combs and Levi Lowry. So all the songs are his except for "Heavy" and then "Come Tomorrow,"
Come Tomorrow's
which is him and another
someone
writer.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
So, one
just
and a half.
collaboration. Yeah, but what do you think so far? I mean, as far as like the sound of it, it's certainly there's a country element to it. I believe Andrew Combs is from Texas.
I love
Okay.
that's a distinct Texas sound
Yeah.
too. I kind of got that vibe from the Tom Morello record too. Some of that slide guitar, some of that weird country kind of vibe. I mean,
He's from Chicago.
no, but I know, but if you
Who's
listen,
who are you talking about?
Tom
Tom
Morello.
Morello, like
Oh.
that
Oh, I
had the
thought you
slide
said-
guitar and that style.
Oh, I thought you were saying he sounded like a Texan. Like
No. But
That's the sound of music
yeah,
sounded.
yeah. Their musical style has some. I love this style of music. I'm pretty sure that there's the like the ukulele in some of these songs. That
Oh.
really high tune,
Yeah,
lucky guitar in there,
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if it
or something like that, or nylon guitar or something.
Yeah, you got the mandolin on a couple tracks. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man, I wish. Okay, damn it, I gave it away. So the band is. Let's shout them out real quick. John Radford on drums and percussion. Mike Rhine, upright bass.
Nice.
Michael Hulsher, piano and organ. So Big Bad Love, shout out there. Spencer Cullum Jr. on the pedal steel. Jeremy Fetzer on lead guitar and background vocals. And then Andrew Combs is the rhythm guitar and background vocals. But additional players, Jeff Irwin, the electric bass on tracks 3 and 4. And then Guthrie Trapp. What I wanted to do was, okay, Guthrie Trapp, guess what instrument he played? And it's like, of course it's the mandolin or something like that, you know, like banjo, whatever. And then Mike Odmark, the Mellotron. And that was on heavy. Okay, well, let's just keep it rolling.
Take it from me. You don't wanna be mine. Take it from me. You won't like my kind. You're just another way to say goodbye. So take it from me. You don't wanna be mine.
So the next song here is Running You Out of My Mind, and if you recall, during Big Bad Love, that was one of the lyrics was trying to run her out of my mind, so I like the continuation, I guess.
Even in that last song, he referenced Heavy on My Mind
Yeah, heavy.
and the song Heavy.
Very Wild Feathers-esque.
Yeah.
I can see why you brought him up.
Two stones to cry. He would introduce. He said his mother hated this song.
Oh.
Only as these days are long, well, I'm lonesome to stone cry. Said Jesus, save me, but that was a lie. I keep trying to stone down. No, I keep trying to stone down. Whiskey and wine, bells for the pain, fast, easy women and little folk. Walking around between Hillman and Pine. I ain't happy, just in the stone cry. I ain't happy, just in the stone cry. Well, tell me why, oh, why would she do me like that? I can't
Got
hold
swing.
you.
Hell yeah.
Like a Siri on Saloon.
I love this type of piano because, like, piano thought it was elegant. It's not.
Yeah.
Why would she do me like that?
track.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm a worried man. I got a worried mind. Two shaky hands, two beady eyes. See my baby, she been gone so long. I'm gonna keep on worrying till my baby comes home. I'm gonna buy me a shotgun. I'm gonna buy me some shells. I'm gonna fill each one with salt and nails. And when I find my baby, I'm gonna aim real low. I'm gonna shoot out her ankles. She won't
Oh shit.
know. 'Cause I'm a worried man.
Damn.
I got a worried mind. She won't be dancing no.
Damn, got dark.
That's been years out of wandering, chasing women, wasting time. Well, that was on the lonely side of loving, but I ain't alone, babe, tonight.
That's it.
That was excellent.
Yeah, right.
That was a good like segue record. I definitely,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I guess Why Oh Why is the song that had me like, that was like my Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of connection, because that was the,
Yeah.
it also put me in a saloon similar to, yeah. I love that you picked up on that, right when I said I'm in a saloon, like that was exactly, yeah, like you did the same thing, like, what's that song on the Stevie Ray Vaughan record,
Joe knows it. It's one of the same.
Little Lover.
No, well, Dirty Pool is the one that but that's a little slower.
What was that song?
It's the first song on the, dun, 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 dun.
The first song on the record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pride and
that-
Joy?
No.
No, I always think it's Pride and Joy, but it's not. Like,
What is it?
well, I'm a love struck baby.
I must confess. Oh yeah. I'm a love struck baby, and I know just what to do.
Yeah. So Why Oh Why was that song for me? Okay, but what do we think overall? Just like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Andrew Combs in general. I think he's made good music, but I just love this record itself.
It's just got that classic sound.
Yeah.
It's got the slide guitar. What else?
so-
It
yeah.
had that instrument that we were talking about before, not ukulele, the mandolin. Yeah, it just had all those classic elements, and the songwriting. I mean, like you
Yeah.
said, it's a heartbreak record for sure.
Yeah, I was very frustrated with the lyrical discrepancies.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
as I mentioned after side one, but most of it is there, and the discrepancies were so obvious. I feel like
it didn't throw us off like we noticed them right away.
that's you're not,
There were some funny ones in
You're
there.
not actually concerned that he wet the floor
Yeah.
in the one song. Or what was the one? Fray Train, F-R-A-Y.
Oh yeah, Frey Train. Oh, who's Mr. Frey? Yeah, it's so funny, and you could put this on a podcast. I'm gonna make a fool out of myself. I remember remember when we were talking about like classic rock, and I think this was like years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, Led Zeppelin, I like him.
Oh man.
You seen my friend Led?
Oh,
Same type of shit. Just you're dead wrong, man. You're on the wrong page.
I did that once with the not that, but well, it reminds me of by the way, which one's pink?
Yeah, exactly.
No, the Black Keys. I was like, yeah, I don't really know. I know Dan Auerbach, but I don't really know anybody else in the Black Keys. He's like, and somebody was like, it was Jack Bauer, the guy who introduced me to this record. Actually, he was like, well, there's only one other guy.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not. Yeah. Well, so it's heartbreak all the way through. Is there anything? I mean, there's a couple interesting connections.
Worried Man was. Well, let's start from the beginning. I'll let you lead. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Well, okay. The Devil's Got My Woman.
Yeah.
I just love that title. I love that way of phrasing it. The Devil's Got My Woman. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
They're still in the relationship. It's just not going well at the
Right.
moment.
Well, you mentioned denial too. That's like a denial thing.
Yes.
Like you think the devil's got the woman.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not who
all-
she really is. It's something's wrong with her. Or something's going wrong.
Yeah, you're basically saying that I'm all good. I'm God, essentially. But the devil's got her.
Right.
Right.
Why can't it be me? Why can't I have her?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's the same. It reminds me of this song reminds me a lot of a Bruce Springsteen song, "Going Down." I'm going down. I remember when my kisses used to turn you inside out. So he's dealing with a similar thing. He's, why can't we have what we used to have? You know.
Sure.
There's a really cool part in this song with the guitar where he says, "We used to be so happy making love in the afternoon," and the guitar goes like. Like, it's a really cool like interaction between the music and the lyrics.
Be so happy making love in the afternoon, but now the devil's got my woman.
My body's shaking. My body's shaking. My body's aching. My heart is broken and bruised.
Yeah, and I got the no lovin' blues, man. It's just an old school style of speaking, I guess, or writing. Yeah. Simple tune. Good way to start the record, I think.
Yeah.
And then Please, Please, Please is one of these downer. He immediately throws in kind of one of his downer tracks.
Oh yeah, this was a sad one.
Yeah.
Don't go falling out of love with me, like pleading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was. Yeah, he was definitely begging, pleading.
Yeah, this got good lyric. It gets good lyrically. The song picks up a little bit too. Like it's like I feel like the drums kind of kick in. Like where does it start? So tell me, darling, just confess. Like it picks up just a little. It's still a laid back, somber tune, but like picks up a little bit. There's something blue about the way you kiss. That's a good line.
Yeah. Yep,
And then-
or the same thing. So what puts that lonesome looking in your eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what puts that lonesome look again. Yeah, I don't think it's looking. I think it's just what puts that lonesome look in your eyes.
See, I never understood that. If there's someone else, tell me what his name is. I don't give a fuck who he is.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Like I don't want to know details. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
What you've done, where you've been.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, maybe,
That's just how I feel.
I was gonna say. I guess maybe you're not the jealous type exactly. I mean, because I feel like that is like, tell me who he is. I'm gonna find this. You know what I mean? Like, you're just so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't care.
Because I don't. I can't say I would want to know the guy's name and want to kill him or anything, but you do have the just kind of raw anger. I feel like in that moment, if that's what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
Sure, but the same thing too is like when he says like, "Oh, please," the whole begging thing is like your whole self-esteem is already damaged. So
True.
when you're looking for another, he's looking for another person. He wants to know because he's like,
Well,
what he's asking, what's putting the lonesome look like? What has he got
Right.
that I ain't got?
Right.
That's the real
Right,
thing
right,
behind
right,
it.
right.
You know
well,
what I mean?
and the lyrics are butchered here. He says, "If there's someone else, tell me what's his name. Don't he know love's not a game?"
Yeah, that's what the real lyrics are.
Yeah.
This is butchered.
1,000 kisses. I don't know what it is there. 1,000 kisses, 1,000 lies. I think is kind of what he says. But I like that. Like he's taking it very seriously. Don't he know love's not a game? Like
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
this guy fucking doing? You know, like
Yeah, that's a good lyric.
You know, it's like you'd like to tell yourself that, like it's just a big game, but the truth is, in his situation,
when you're experiencing.
Well,
it,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You think it's a game, but you don't know that.
When there's feelings involved,
sure,
and that it's not funny.
yeah,
know.
exactly.
Okay, and then Heavy. Heavy is the one song on the record that was not written by Andrew Combs, which I find really interesting. We've talked about this before. When you pick covers to put into your record, it's got to fit somehow, and this one really fits. Like with the rest of the record, there's a couple of like lines in this song that tie to other songs. I feel like.
I wonder if the writers. I don't know if this song was wrote in the in the 90s or the whatever 80s, 70s or whatever, but I wonder if these two people just wrote this song with this album in mind. Like he gave them the idea, like, hey, I'm looking for a song.
Yeah.
That's about this. Okay, we'll write you that song.
Yeah, we'll have to look into it, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't think this was a song of theirs, Carolyn Spence and Carl Anderson. It's funny, the guy's name is Carl Anderson. That's a pro wrestler. There's a pro wrestler named Carl Anderson. Maybe it was him. But yeah, I'm thinking it's like that. I'm thinking they wrote it. Maybe not even for this album, but yeah, I just don't think they. I think they're just songwriters.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah. So the thing that's interesting to me, he says, I think I'll drive out to Texas, straight past the border, back into Santa Fe. Santa Fe comes up later on the record. I don't know what song it is, but. So I find that connection.
Yeah, references to Texas and stuff have come up a few times. Different cities, just kind of like Texan kind of. You could tell, like, even the way he.
The musical style.
Yeah, the way he like says a lot of like, especially like at the end of lines, like the way he'll end like a word.
Like mannerisms, like
certain
phrases.
It sounds very Texan
for sure.
There was some record night where we couldn't think of a word. Now, goddamn, I'm bringing it up, and now I'm not gonna be able to think of it. We were talking about it was with the Daniel Donato record. We were talking about I think the word we were looking for is cadence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We were talking about like we kept picking like it has to do with the words you choose, but no, it's not.
Diction.
Diction. It's not diction. It's cadence. It's not the words you choose. It's the way you say the words you're saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. This is. I don't know if it's old school necessarily, but I just like the. Well, okay. The devil on your breath is a kind of fun way of talking about alcohol, I assume. And if you got something to say, get it off your chest. Ain't no use carrying all that around. It's only going to make you heavy.
Could the devil on your breath mean, like, lies?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably more...
Like, in the context of the song.
In the context of the song, you're right. And
I think it's both. Like, it's that combined. You know what I mean?
Alcohol.
Devil on your breath, alcohol, and, like, what that'll make you say, like, just, like, in a state of, like...
well, on your breath,
like despair.
On your breath makes me think alcohol because you could literally smell alcohol on somebody's breath. But this is interesting because I don't know who the narrator is in this song because again the lyrics are all butchered here. But to me it's like, don't you know I hate to see you like that, man, is what I hear. Mm-hmm. Don't you know I hate to see you like that, man? And then it's only gonna make you heavy, girl. So I don't know if this is like one narrator or if they're like, if it's trading back and forth like some songs will do.
Like a dialogue?
Kind of,
like them talking back.
That was what I thought, and that to me lends itself more to the like just lying. Don't come around with the devil on your breath. I hate to see you like that, but I hate to see you like that makes me think drunk too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like the thought because I was having the same when I listened to this song. I haven't listened to this record in a long time, but like when I did, I was kind of having the same sort of struggle with it. Oh, and yeah, this is the one that ended without. Typically, I feel like you would have a chorus end of the song, but he just ends it.
Oh, it ends.
Maybe I'll see you. Maybe I won't.
On that, I said it was like on that open-ended kind of
thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we had Big Bad Love.
Hell yeah. This was that first harder song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the song where he wets the floor. What does it really say? I cry and cry. I'd have to hear it again.
He might say "What the floor."
No. Joe and I were like, I picked it up and we.
It was like not even like the syllable wasn't right or something. Like clearly not the right.
Cry, I'm on the floor, something like that.
It's probably "I'm on the floor."
Yeah, like.
I cry, I walk the floor. I don't wanna hurt no more.
I wet the floor.
Yeah, I told
either
Joe,
either he's a dog or that's a lot of tears.
I was gonna say the song was written from the perspective of a dog. That's what
yeah, that's right. That's why I picked that up from.
Yeah, this is the first one I recall where he had like the organ and crazy like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them keys, son.
Oh, and this is where we get "Trying to Run Her Out of My Mind," which is then a song later is running you out of my mind. So. Okay, and then Come Tomorrow, another laid back, somber track. That's what makes me. This was the end of side A, so that's kind of what makes me feel like that. Like this is the end of side A, and then we're gonna pick it up on side B.
Almost like a 2-part.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I don't know. I've tried to go through this record and like what he's saying, and it's not quite like I said. It's a heartbreak record throughout, but it's not quite linear. Like,
but it's just like kind of feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
Through that kind of time in his life.
Yeah. So this is he's gonna start his life again, start my life again, start it all again.
Mm-hmm.
I got holes in all my pockets, holes in my old blue jeans.
Yeah. And each town scrapes a little off my soul.
But that's a really good line.
Is it?
That's a good line because he goes from like, okay, the holes in my pockets, holes in my jeans. So like physically he's gone through a lot. Like monetarily he's gone through a lot, and then like every city as well. It's like he's going through a lot city by city. Just digs as he travels. It just digs more of his soul away. A hole in his soul.
Yeah, this reminds me of like a Jackson Browne song. Like,
yeah,
he's hopeless but hopeful. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like nothing goes right for him, but somewhere,
he's hit
somewhere down the line,
he's hit rock bottom. He's hit rock bottom. So it's like, well, where else? It's only up from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the hope, I guess, it seems like from a musician's perspective, right? He's traveling, each town scrapes a little off my soul.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bounce to some town and everything will be fine. I'll start it all again.
Right.
Okay, so then we flipped over to side 2, and it's "Take It From Me." This is a good song in terms, like I was saying at the beginning, like it's a heartbreak record from all these different perspectives, and so this is. He's not going to engage in a new relationship because he's all jaded and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
He can't settle down.
Right.
It's hard for me to love myself. What makes you think I could love someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like, again, it's just a small little language thing, but like, take it from me, you don't want to be mine. Take it from me, you won't like my kind.
Yeah.
Like my kind.
Yeah, yeah. You won't like my kind.
Yeah, right.
That's that Texas coming in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, what about You're Just Another Way to Say Goodbye?
Yeah, I didn't...
To his previous lover.
Okay, that's... Okay. I was thinking that or, like, at the end, I'm just gonna, like, all right, goodbye to you, too.
I'm basically gonna use you to get over this past relationship.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
But I'm gonna move on from this, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sooner than later. Because because he's still got to fix things about himself.
Right.
Before he can move into another relationship.
Right. It's hard for me to love him. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think. Take It From Me. This had some good guitar work in it, I think. Like... It wasn't quite as good. It gets good on this side. It wasn't.
Well, let me stop the podcast right here. Not legitimately stop. We're gonna.
Okay.
I will help if needed. We need to edit an episode it's just me and Collin and Joe of all of our vocal representations of what the instrument. Just the whole pocket is do do.
One of my favorites ever is when the jazz debacle, and he's like, Jake goes, when have you ever heard a guy vocalize like, and you made some weird like fucking noise? I'm like, I never. That's the first time.
I remember that. That was funny.
You wouldn't. What's weird when I say that is you wouldn't even vocalize that way. Like, when's the last time you heard a human being go like meow meow? You know, it's like an animal or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You did like a Billy Goat.
Yeah.
This is jazz. This is a magic of jazz.
Yeah.
Every time I see that, I start laughing.
Jazz Debacle's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's kind of a universal.
not to get off track, but I thought that was a good creative. The creative juices were flowing right there.
Yeah. Like I said, we talked about it last week. It was a happy accident, and it went over well. I got good feedback on that as well. Okay, Running You Out of My Mind. This is one of my favorite songs. This is like one of the playlist songs off of this record. Mm-hmm. All the way through. I love the lyrics. We have the awesome little guitar part.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned it was a continuation off the theme from an earlier track too.
Yeah. So this is Big Bad Love.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to run her out of my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just okay, yeah, the lyrics are butchered in this, so I'll have to try to help out. The one lyric is "I'm losing your memory but gaining ground." Mm-hmm. Like,
yes,
you know what I mean. So
hopeful in a way.
Right. I like that lyric. I'll keep on running. So it's not. So this is one that this is somebody who's in a bad place, like really heartbroken, because he says, "Love's just a drug that'll throw you around. Going up ain't worth coming down." Well, I mean, somebody who is thinking like that is in a bad spot, because like, you know, of course love is worth it, you know, but like when you're there, it doesn't feel like it is, you know?
Right.
And we have there's these lyrics are so butchered. Windows down, heart heavy on my chest. I like that, you know, just giving that
that old familiar
air heavy on my. What did it say? Air heavy on my cheeks.
I'm driving real fast.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
That's when you moon someone outside the window.
Yes, I was just gonna make a
Stick your ass out of the car window.
What cheeks is he talking about? He's sticking his ass out the window.
That feels good.
Air that out. I aired that out in some months.
Can you imagine you're driving on the road and you just see some guy
with an ass just
your window.
Oh man, we will have to try that. Let's get in the Kia Rio right now.
We'll drive past Bonnie's and give the old moon a
Yay!
All right, Too Stoned to Cry. This is another. This is one of my favorite songs.
It's one his mom didn't like.
Yeah. And so this is a good song from a lot of different angles. I feel like. What's your Jake? What's your impression of this tune?
It's an interesting song because there's kind of two sides to it, right? So he says he's not happy, but he's too stoned to cry. I don't know whether to take that as he's using the drugs to keep himself from crying, or he's at a point where on drugs he feels some type of normalcy. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? He's at a point where he feels good enough on drugs where he's not, you know, he feels good. Mm-hmm. He's too stoned to cry. You know what I mean? He feels decent.
Yeah.
When he's high.
Yeah. Well, okay, but even if that's the case,
you're still down, but that's better because, like, think about from the beginning, like, totally tore up. It doesn't matter what you smoke or what you take, you're going to be tore up. Well, you know what I mean?
Well, I think as the song, because the lyrics end up changing as the song goes on, I think it kind of reveals that
he's not doing so good.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, I take it as like in a normal state, he would cry, but he's just so numb. You know.
Okay.
Not I feel nothing. It's really it paints a really interesting picture of like, you know how like, I don't know, like I was gonna say in wrestling, but like in a lot of fields, it's like you don't want people to be indifferent about you. You want to be loved or hated, right? You don't want to be in the middle. And so this guy's like just stuck in the middle, which ends up being like, I don't know, like
it's the worst place to be. Yeah,
right.
You're in
because
limbo, purgatory.
At least if you cry, if you're down, like you're at bottom, that might spur you to like at least try to go up. But if you're just in this numb, floating state, like that can be kind of. He says he's too. Well, okay. The first thing is I never, until I listened to it right now, I didn't make the connection between Hank Williams, famous Hank Williams song, "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry."
Yeah.
He says, "I'm lonesome, but I'm too stoned to cry." And then he says his clothes are ragged and worn. His sailor's caught in the worst kind of storm. I keep walking. I'm too stoned to fly. And then and the chorus is great. Whiskey, wine, pills for the pain, fast, easy women, and a little cocaine. I'm walking the line between hell-bent and high. I ain't happy, just too stoned to cry.
Mm-hmm.
So town to town, this is another kind of like
musicians
battle, right? They said Jesus could save me, but that was a lie. Well, I've always been lost. I ain't never been found. That's a good lyric.
Well, that's Amazing Grace.
Right.
Once was lost, now I'm found.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Right. So another play on a famous song there. But then at the end it changes. I keep trying, but I'm too stoned to die. I keep trying, but I'm too stoned to die. So like, I don't know. Can't even like just so like not even down. Okay, back to that. Like if you're at bottom, like maybe at least you feel so down you could commit suicide and just end it. But he's like, just
that's that limbo you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why that's a bad spot.
Yep. Yeah.
So kind of a profound tune. This is.
I just think it's interesting because what that whole message though, like I'm down, but I'm too stoned to die. Like I don't know. To me, there's still like the glimmer of hope in that. Not like hope, but like.
Well, if you're too stoned,
you're down but not
yourself,
out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because what if he wasn't stoned? Where would he be?
Yeah.
However you cope is how you cope, but still, it's like.
I think in this song, the benefit of not being stoned would be better because then he'd know where he was. There wouldn't be like. There's that Tame Impala song, Lucidity. Lucidity, come back to me.
Yeah, please bring. Yeah.
Oh, he's like in a fog.
Yeah.
Yep.
He doesn't know where he stands. He doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't have any bearings on life because he's, just kind of wrapped up in the drugs and, whatever other stuff he's doing.
Excellent comparison. I think that's. I think to your point, Jake. I think it could go either way. If he wasn't stoned, right? Like, he could go up, he could go down. That's kind of the whole point. He's. So there is like a chance, but
it's just weird because when you think about like people getting stoned or on drugs, like if you're in a rough place, like either you can use those and they'll like I've seen people who have been clearly like in a state of euphoria because they're using the drugs, but I've also seen people who've used drugs and it's made their emotional condition worse, right?
Sure.
Now they're out of control. After they've drank too much or smoked too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I get that from, like that glimmer of hope kind of thing. He's obviously in a bad place, but you know what I mean?
Well, and I think just the fact that it could work temporarily.
But I don't think that's even the message of the song. I just think it's almost like a secondary thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or just the secondary thing of his experience, not even an intentional thing he meant to say, like just what he's writing about.
Well, in the context of the record too, right? Like this is somebody who's had their heart broken and all this sort of stuff. So this is just what they've been reduced to, Yeah,
like exactly.
This, just stoned state.
You know what it is really about like analyzing the lyrics the way I am? It's about like reflection because I think like a lot of people have been in that position. and it just makes you grateful that like at least he's, not dead.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
all we know comes from life experience. So like when we read these lyrics, we're actually you're taking
your own experience and
or
you're
stuff
like projecting it,
or stuff we've seen in movies or in other music or whatever, But a lot of times it's from your own experiences.
Yeah,
well, it's how you interpret.
Well, yeah, for sure, and in this record, a record I like to bring back because Joe didn't listen to it with us. It was just Jake and I. We listened to Neil Francis, Changes.
Yeah, I love that record. God.
Conceptually, I think this is really similar. I think that this seems very personal. I could be wrong, but this seems like a very personal song that he wrote. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he probably experienced a lot of this stuff. So, and I got the same impression on the Neil Francis record.
I love that record. I was happy that shout out. What was that record company, Colin?
Coal Mine Records.
Yeah.
Coal Mine Records, they're sold out of Plaid Room.
Yeah,
Records.
Plaid Room was the store? Or
Yeah, the store, but Coal Mine Records is the label.
Gotcha.
These albums are really, both in the fact that they're small time, like independent kind of records too, and it's a good, I don't know, they're similar in that way.
This guy never made it like big, like mainstream.
He's again, I'm not a huge fan of him now, but I feel like he kind of made it. Like I heard that Bourgeois King song, I heard that like on a podcast or something. Like that's how I was aware of it. So yeah, I'm not sure what he's up to now, but he's definitely come out with some more records, and I think he's gotten a little bit of attention at least. Okay, YOY kind of kicked us back onto this upbeat, the upbeat track. This was the one that made me think of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And put me in a saloon. I came home to some trouble, late last night. Standing naked in the bedroom. She said it ain't what it looks like.
Ah, you got caught. You got caught.
Ah, this reminds me of Shaggy.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
What do you mean it wasn't you? Come on, caught you red-handed.
And come here right-handed.
I wasn't even thinking about that as a lyric. I was just...
Sleeping with the girl next door. What a classic. I remember the first time I heard that song, I was in the car with my uncle. And it was awkward.
Yeah.
Like, what is this shit?
What do you make of this lyric? Every time she said she loved me, the feelings crossed behind my ear. Like he didn't believe her. Like it would have gone into the ear if he would have believed her, behind the ear if he didn't, or...
Yeah. No, I think that's right. I just, I'm not as familiar with the song, so I'm just like, is that...
Kind of examining it.
Is that really what the lyric is? Because that makes sense.
Oh yeah, is this another one of those fucking
In this case, I would say probably not. Because that interpretation makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, he knew. He knew.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's another. It's please, please, please.
Mm-hmm.
There's something blue about the way you kiss.
Yeah.
Is there somebody else? You know what I mean? I'm just
right.
not. I'm not.
He's picking up on something. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you do me like that? Oh man, right. Tom Petty, don't do me like that.
Don't do me like that.
Don't do me like that. Oh, I love you, baby. Oh. It's my jam.
Okay, so now again, like I said, this album is not quite linear, I don't think, but now he's just been cheated on in this song, right? YOY, and then we move into Worried Man.
Oh yeah, now the
Okay,
anger.
so-
Here comes the anger. He's gonna blow her ankles out from under with a fucking click clack bang.
So how did this song go for you guys? Like you didn't. I brought up a Joe. This is one of those songs. Like maybe you knew because I've played this song before.
Yeah.
But you were shocked like by the ending. I took it.
Oh yeah, the ending. I was like, whoa, he's real mad.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was gonna be mad. Like I wasn't ready for that at all. I didn't see it coming.
The end of that one song was kind of got dark a little too, about how too stoned to die.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, but this one I got caught up in the or whatever that swing beat was. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna blow out your ankles. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. This is a cool.
Man. It's a cool song.
It's a cool song. Yeah, like it's being written from the perspective of the guy who's. I don't know, like, if you read the lyrics back, very obviously this dude has an anger problem, but he's, like, just admitting it about himself, you know, like, well, he says, I got 2 beady eyes. You never describe yourself with beady eyes. That's not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm going to keep on worrying until my baby comes home. Oh, man, so it's just, I love the lyrics. See me smoking like a freight train. See me sweating like a hog.
Yeah.
Every minute getting meaner than a junkyard dog.
Yeah.
And then I tuck your door or trunk your door.
Is it?
Oh yeah, that was another egregious lyric.
In a junkyard dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he says junk your door and trunk your door instead of junkyard dog.
Oh, okay.
It's an egregious lyrical mistake on the hand of genius.
Yeah,
Fix this, genius.
This is. I've seen a lot of discrepancies. This is the worst.
Trunk your door. He nouns a noun. He nouns a noun. Everybody. He doesn't verb a noun or gerund a noun. He nouns a noun.
So it's meaner than a junkyard dog. There's just one thought I can hardly stand. It's the vision of my baby with another man.
Yeah.
So this guy's the jealous type, and
he's gonna act out on it.
And then somebody said they saw her shaking down in New Orleans, doing a little boogie woogie like some Cajun queen. She can run, but she cannot hide. I'm gonna find my baby. I'm gonna make things right. So it still sounds like it might be
What was the other song we heard? It was a country album about the guy. He sings about some kind of serial killer. Why is this giving me that vibe?
Oh, well, that Deer Tick.
Yeah, I was like Deer Tick. Yeah, like so really dark. Yeah.
I let my house guests rest in the crawl space. Don't let me tell you I'm a bad host.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar in that way from the perspective of a kind of messed up individual.
Yeah.
You know? But see, you get to the, I'm going to find my baby, I'm going to make things right. And I'm like, okay. Maybe
you're going to make things
like,
right? Okay.
Do some big romantic gesture? Who knows?
Oh, he's going to blow her ankles out with a gun.
That's romantic. How romantic.
The song like changes it. Like, bow,
yeah.
Bow. Like at the end, I'm gonna buy me a shotgun. I'm gonna buy me some shells, not chills.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fill each one with salt and nails. And when I find my baby, I'm gonna aim real well. I'm gonna shoot out her ankles.
Salt and
she won't
nails.
be dancing no more.
That's dark. Not only do you blow her fucking legs off, but the shells had salt in them.
Yeah, it's like buckshot.
Yeah, except salt to make it sting.
So this is, as far as the classic vibe of this album goes, this is right in line. I mean, there are a lot of songs, the jealous lover type song with this kind of narrative in it, you know?
Isn't it like this recurring theme in like blues too? It's like I feel like this is like the third or fourth album we've listened to where like the person is going through his motions with heartbreak or whatever, and then the end there's always that one song about like just fucking I'm gonna kill you, bitch. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Well, I mean,
and even the Offspring, like punk bands, like what's that one song they covered a song called Feelings. He goes, feelings like I wanna deck you, feelings like I wanna kill you.
Jeez.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Like his famous song.
Oh, there's a.
It's a cover though.
One of Kanye West's new songs off you. This morning I thought about killing you.
Yeah.
I contemplated premeditated murder. So that's one. I didn't even think about that. But there's a lot of legendary songs that have this kind of narrative. Down by the River by Neil Young. Hey Joe, Jimi Hendrix. More obscure, but A Bullet for Ramona, Warren Zevon. So yeah, there's plenty. This is kind of a...
The title's not as obscure, but...
A Bullet for Ramona? I don't get it.
You said a bullet. Like this one's called... The title is clear on what he wants to do.
I meant obscure as in not many people know Warren Zevon.
Oh, okay.
Song,
Gotcha.
Like
That's like
hiding in the message. No, it's pretty. Yeah,
he's pretty. He wants to kill.
About.
That's funny as shit.
But yeah, so Worried Man, and then Lonely Side of Love, which is kind of a stark contrast, right, to the. This is what made me say reflection, like growth, is finally in this song.
he's met someone who
Even from the opening line, "Smell the roses."
Yeah.
That's very, you say that when you're reflecting.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like in the moment, right? Like, smell the roses, taste the wine. He's not running anymore. Perhaps I don't know. Like,
it's interesting though because I think every track until this one, it's like in a very close time range. In this one, then he says, "I spent years out wandering, chasing women,
wandering." I believe.
Or yeah, that makes more sense. But still, like every song in this album is about you'd think the same girl, like an experience with the same person, and this by track 11, track 10, 1 through 10 is like a year's span. And then track 11 is like 3 years later.
It's like at the end of a movie when they go,
they flash forward
10 years later or whatever, and then it goes into
So this is he says, "Once I knew a girl like you in Santa Fe. She broke me down and made me cry."
Which is
That
track
goes
1 through
back
10.
to
Well, the Santa Fe reference is the song "Heavy," which was not written by him. That's I'm gonna go past the border back into Santa Fe. So that's why I find it interesting that there's that connection between those two songs. And it's just well said on the lonely side of loving. Right, so you could be getting around town and everything like that, but it's not,
it's not
still
fulfilling.
lonely.
It's not a fulfilling thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So pretty straightforward. Not much more to the lyrics. So Andrew Combs, A Worried Man. Just some.
It was solid.
Wrap up overall. Yeah.
That's
right?
how it's just like it. I think the most accurate comparison you made was Neil Francis. I think it's just a solid. It's a good record based on our conversation because we were just talking about that blueprint. You know what I mean? That blues blueprint. And I think that this followed that. We talked about those recurring themes that we've heard in records before. Like this hit all those nails right on the head. And it's got everything. It's got everything that a good record needs. It hit all the check boxes. So I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I feel like it bobbed and weaved a little bit. Well, Joe, what are your thoughts overall?
I thought it was very good. Never heard this guy before, except for the one song that you showed me, "Worried Man." But yeah, I feel like I could really get into this guy just because he's like a singer-songwriter type. Like I enjoy that kind of stuff. But like 10, 15 years ago, if you would have told me like that I would like this kind of music, like this kind of country kind of music, I probably would have told you were crazy. I can never imagine liking like bands like this guy and like Wild Feathers and a Tyler Childers, like like that kind of like country kind of music. But it's pretty crazy like what people say, like, because growing up, all we heard was country music is garbage, and it's blah blah blah, and just like where we're from, like we're from like the suburbs, like Cleveland area, so like this music's not really played too much around here. But yeah, I feel like I'm really enjoying. It's like one of my favorite kind of music.
Yeah,
I never would have thought it would be that way.
Yeah. I've got pretty much the same experience. I'm like with some of the stuff that's country-ish. Like I'm not really surprised. Like I've always kind of liked some of that stuff. But yeah, like Tyler Childers is a good example.
Yeah.
Like that's very country.
Like the song "Purgatory."
Yeah.
And
country's all
you
hell.
would tell me that 15 years ago, like no way would I like that song.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite songs on the album. And it's like the most country song on the whole album. Bluegrass.
Yeah. Right. Yo, for sure on that record.
Yeah.
There's something like the steel guitar is like comforting somehow. I don't know what it is about this music, man. It's just got it's got an old sound to it, I think. Is a little bit of what it is. Like there's like some sort of like nostalgia in that or something. But
I wonder who his influences are. Like if they're like 90s country like kind of people, because like even the way he like structures the song is almost like that kind of country from like the 90s. This new country is just totally different. But I'm talking to like the country that I guess I don't want to say grew up with, but from like the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that, like those kind of like slower ballad kind of love kind of songs. You know what I'm talking about? Like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like artists who used to do it. Like
When I was I did a podcast yesterday with a girl named Ashley, otherwise known as @Ashtastic on Instagram, the vinyl collector. And she called it the golden age of country music.
Yep.
Like that when country got like massive in the 90s. In fact, it's kind of, I don't really identify. I'm not familiar enough with it to have, I'm not qualified to say, but like I identify that as like when country started going down. But it was really like you had that, and then I think after like the Tim McGraw and all that, it started taking a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, it hit in the 90s. It definitely hit peak in popularity.
Yes,
but it wasn't different from the music they were really putting out in the 80s. I mean, it started changing, definitely started changing, but it was still that kind of country from the 80s and the 70s and that kind of style. Now it's just totally different now. It's evolved.
Yeah, it's totally become a pop.
Yeah, I mean, you had, like, in the 90s, you had Shania Twain, who was selling millions and millions of records. You had
She was
huge.
pretty good looking as well.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Like Toby Keith and Garth Brooks was a huge one.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah. So I think that's it. Jake, do you have any other final thoughts before we end this edition of the Record Night Podcast?
I think it's a great time to sign off, I think.
Yeah, so we're going to end it. We might be, well, again, we're not going to acknowledge any kind of bonus record, so it would be Joe's turn next week to do a record. So, yeah, we don't have any guests or anything lined up, so
Okay.
It's Joe's turn. Have you given any kind of thought?
I'm gonna try to make it out to the record store because if you recall, last time I was having stomach issues and I was in the bathroom. So hopefully no stomach issues. I can make it to the record store, buy a few, and then make my decision from that. And if not, we'll just pull something from the collection. There's still plenty of stuff that I could, that we still need to do.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, until then, this has been the Record Night Podcast. So, thanks for joining us.
All right.
That's usually Jake's line. Is thanks for joining us, but whatever. This has been Record
Until next time. Later. Peace out. Adios. Adieu.
Changes running through my life, and you get farther and farther behind me.
How about that Record Night Podcast?